We are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem in the Crypto, episode 1135. Today is Monday, August 21st, 2023, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10-ish. Today, starting a few minutes early as I have to run. Good news, though, the tropical storm behind me is not really a tropical storm. It was more like some warm rain. So LA skated off good on that one, even though we were hit with an earthquake yesterday. But with that being said, the top news: Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin moves $1 million of Ethereum to Coinbase. Kenya forms parliamentary committee to investigate Worldcoin. Renewable energy Bitcoin mining company powers up in Sweden, and China proposes to bring its social credit system to the Metaverse, is being reported. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices. Woo, that fear and greed index has dropped, people. Bitcoin is coming in at $26,048, down 0.42%. Ethereum's at $1,670, down 0.36%. Number 5, Ripple is at 52 cents, down 4.25%. Number 8, Dogecoin at 6 cents, down 2.68%. And number 10, Tron at 7 cents, still down 1.15. So some of your favorites, including one of the ones we often trade here, Polygon, folks, is at 56 cents. Again, this is one of the ones where it's like, hey, if the project is still working, which this has been, like that 80 cent is commanded for the most part of the year, should return back in no time. So, I mean, that's actually great tradable token, down 17% on the week. But go ahead and do your research. Some of those different tokens. Trending tokens are Cyber Connect, up 0.33%. Harry Potter, Trump, Homer Simpson, 777. Hilarious, down 2.79%. And Shiba Inu, down 3.65%. And again, first time the lowest since it started. The fear and greed index is at a 35. That is super. I mean, it was just at 50. So the drop to 35, that's super low. Now, the good thing about this, if you're looking at the psychological trading cycle, you know, usually when it's at its highest peaks of fear, or I should say the dips of fear, is oftentimes when you should actually be buying, and we're seeing this bottom. Who knows if we've actually seen Bitcoin's bottom here, or there's more to go, but that is something to consider, that this fear index is getting a little bit lower, which means it's actually the optimal times to buy. So something to think about: Bitcoin dominance at 48.2%, Ethereum's at 19.1%. there as well. All right, other than that, let me give some quick shout outs. Short show today, not a lot of great news stories, as you can see from these headlines, but I try to pull a few things together just so we can have something to talk about, and you all can see that, again, this tropical thunderstorm is all it was here behind me. Nothing more, nothing less, and the rain has already stopped. All right, what's going on? BK Crypto, Bitcoin Madam, Patrick Walter, Jay So, what's going on? The Realness of Jess, Smitty Farms, Nerd Up, Jake Fever, Chloe. Morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? Oh, easy. Jake, I got you, man. We had a lot going on behind the scenes, but we definitely need another episode of Bitcoin Behind the Bar, so I'm down for it. I'll reach out. We'll talk. We'll get this happening. All right. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Top story of the day: Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin moves $1 million of Ethereum to Coinbase. You know, it is a slow news story when we're using this as a top story of the day. It was either that or say, I'll see you all tomorrow. So I said, hey, let's just talk about Vitalik for the next 10 minutes and see what happens. On-chain data shows that Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin moved 600 Ethereum to U.S. exchange Coinbase amid ongoing market woes. This was actually interesting to me because I was just like, why? I'm not sure why he's moving $1 million on Ethereum unless he's trying to help Coinbase or he had an actual move to make with that. But it looks like Bitcoin sleuths have flagged the transfer of $1 million of Ethereum belonging to a wallet controlled by Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, as cryptocurrency markets remain depressed after widespread weekend losses. You can see here the actual transaction release. The publicly labeled Ethereum wallet address Vitalik.eth transferred 600 Ethereum on August 21st, with the address still holding over 3,900 Ethereum valued at $6.5 million as data per Etherscan. It looks like, I guess, he repaid 251,000 RAI on Maker and withdrew 1,000 Ethereum yesterday, then deposited 600 on Coinbase. So yeah, possibly he's just doing some trading moves in the background. But again, you know, a lot of whale watchers and people always pay attention to this. As you can see here, the speculation started popping up of why he would actually move that money. I would say any large flow of capital in version of Ethereum, Bitcoin, or anything like that coming from a notable person like Vitalik to Coinbase would only, for the most part, be for their daily business. If he has a trade coming in, going out, something like that, or unless Coinbase is in trouble and they need extra capital. Now, I doubt that's the case because $1 million wouldn't be enough capital to cover some of the volume that they have on that platform. So it's probably just normal trading activities from Vitalik. But again, slow news cycle, these are things people pay attention to that keeps them interested in the actual market itself. So, hey, why not report on it? You let me know in the comments with your thoughts. Is this some normal trading activity, or is it something going on with Coinbase and Vitalik Buterin we need to be paying attention to? I don't think so. Jake says he's probably using it to use the base blockchain. Some coins on base blockchain are going 100x. He's making moves early. All right. Jake is shilling the base blockchain early Monday morning. Let's get it. Let's see what's up with it. There we go. Like I said, slow news cycle. So I said, let's just cover a couple of stories, say hello to everybody. Let them know I'm still alive out here in LA. All right. Kenya forms parliamentary committee to investigate Worldcoin. It's something we're actually seeing around the world. But the controversial crypto project's launch has been marred in controversy and is already facing investigations in nearly half a dozen countries. This one not being any different itself as well. Looks like the Worldcoin crypto project has run into another roadblock, this time in Kenya, where the government has formed a 15-member parliamentary committee to investigate the controversial asset. The Kenyan government formed a 15-member committee headed by Narek West, member of parliament Gabriel Tongoyo, to look into the controversial crypto project, reported a local daily. It has 42 days to investigate the project and submit its report to the House committee. So at least from one country in the next month and a half, we'll be getting some feedback onto what Worldcoin has been doing right or been doing wrong in their part of the world as well. So again, this is coming 3 weeks after Kenya suspended Worldcoin's operations after the project failed to comply with the government orders to stop scanning users' irises. If you remember, that was the novelty about Worldcoin. They're trying to put every human on the blockchain by scanning their iris. Actually, a novel ideal. But of course, like these ideals, it kind of looks into the civilization point of view. And it's like, well, who gets to have all these iris eye scans and what are we going to do with this data and this information, right? There's always something more nefarious at play, or at least something more capitalistic at play in the background where people want to make a lot of money off of that biometric data. So again, multiple countries are continuing to look at them. But we wanted to bring this up today as Kenya, as they focus on Worldcoin, they'll actually have a report out to the world in the next 42 days, so they say. So can't wait to see what that report's going to say about Worldcoin, and if it's something that we should actually be worried about, or are they just puffing smoke saying they can do all this, but it's really just a novelty at this point? Who knows? I mean, even if you could scan the irises, where would you keep them, right? Like, you still need server space and computing power and those sorts of things. So it's like, I mean, how many eyes can they even scan before they have to scale, and they're not prepared to scale at that moment? So I don't know. Is it 1 million eyes, 1 billion eyes, 300 million eyes? Just enough to get most of America. Like, what is that number? We don't know. Let's see. Renewable energy Bitcoin mining company powers up in Sweden. Talking about a slow news day. Have we ever really put out a renewable energy story? Bitcoin mining lands another green energy data center as global powerhouse GDA sets up shop in Sweden. That is right. Sweden has welcomed a hydro-powered Bitcoin mining data center. Genesis Digital Assets Limited, GDA, a mining and data center company with over 400 megawatts of power generation worldwide, has made and opened a new data center in Sweden, driven by the country's burgeoning renewable energy surplus. So they're going to be in Sweden now. It looks like it's going to be the far north where hydroelectric power dominates the grid. It looks like the executive president and founder of GDA, Abdulmalik Mirakadmadov, told Cointelegraph the new data center is located near the Porges hydroelectric power station. Given the proximity to the hydroelectric power station, we expect all of our electricity consumption to be powered by renewable energy. So this is going to be pretty cool. And again, this kind of goes along to the narrative what we've said multiple times is like, hey, if you actually mine Bitcoin, you want renewable energy. You want you want great energy sources, because if not, you're spending more money on electricity rather than saving money and buying more Bitcoin. So This makes sense not only for them, but for any Bitcoin mining company to try to save on energy costs and use renewable energy. So again, really cool to see that new companies and older companies are continuing to lead the way on these clean energy sources. And this can finally be one of those old school arguments where you're like, bro, that's been figured out years ago. You're still talking about Bitcoin energy. So again, this is C, as they say here, with abundant energy sources, a pro-innovation environment, and a strong educational system that results in a great culture of innovation. We believe that Sweden is one of the best countries in the world where to mine Bitcoin and expect to further invest in this beautiful region moving forward. So it looks like they plan to stay in here. This is really cool to see. You can see some of their stats here, that the energy they're actually using and what they're getting back on it. But again, this is great news for the Bitcoin community as we can finally put to bed this whole energy debate on Bitcoin mining. All right. Other than that, last but not least, I'm laughing at some of these comments. Smitty Farms said, "Could someone drop Gary Gensler in East LA with no phone and see if he can walk to safety?" It's hilarious. The realness of Jess said, "Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that mining in Sweden could be profitable. What pool are they pointing all those hash to? Because they're competing with Foundry, and that's baby hash power." I'm not sure. Check that out, goodness. Let us know for sure. Let's see. The real climate experts aren't even the ones talking about Bitcoin. The fish the fish to fry is much bigger than that, says realness of Jess. Of course, these are just the fussers of the crypto environment that want to use some type of talking point. That's all they have. All right, last but not least, like I said, slow news day, quick stories. Again, if tomorrow continues the same, we might skip tomorrow and reconvene on Wednesday. We'll see in the morning. But again, whew, man, like last 3 days, it was no news, folks. I mean, it's the fear, the price is dropping, the program has ended, it's over. Bitcoin's dead. You know how that goes. The news slows down. China proposes to bring its social credit system to the metaverse, is being reported. Proposals to a United Nations group reportedly show China wants digital IDs and real-world punishments for actions that occur in the metaverse. I can actually see this gaining steam, folks. Especially before the real-world punishments. You have to remember, part of our punitive system here and abroad, or our punitive system, speaking as far as humans go, is based on actual capitalism. It's based on the thought that there's human capital and humans are worth money. I say that to say, if you can essentially create a market around what we'll consider metaverse and digital crime, you now have a real world market. So if you remember some months ago, maybe last year, it was saying someone was like sexually assaulted in the metaverse. Well, if those type of things happen, you can actually say, hey, there's going to be a real world punishment attached. You can now actually find a human being. You can actually enslave a human being, throw them in jail, throw them in prison, make them work for you for free. These are real world consequences. So I can actually see a credit score, a social credit system coming to one of these metaverse. I'm not saying every metaverse is going to happen. That might be the uniqueness of the metaverse, but I can see a social credit system coming to the metaverse near you and I. And if that does happen, I could also see them putting real world. I mean, technically, we already have real world punishments on the metaverse. Don't believe me? Make $1 million in the metaverse. In fact, that's too low for our government. Make like $100 million, $10 million in the metaverse, and try to keep it in the United States and see if the IRS doesn't come see you. But what do you mean? I made this in crypto. This is the metaverse. This wasn't even real. Like I was doing this concert. They don't and they won't care. They will bring the same real world consequences as you were to have if you were selling on Amazon or on the internet. I mean, just based off they're trying to do the crypto community saying that these are all securities using the Howey says, do you really think the IRS is going to use the same set of rules it already has in order to enforce its robbery and its theft tactics, its extortion tactics? But seriously, like they're going to come after you if you make a lot of money in the metaverse. So some of these rules already exist. So something like a social credit system, again, I can see countries getting behind and trying just so they can say we're not doing it in our country. We're just doing it in the metaverse, when in reality, that's just the test ground for how we're actually going to do it in the country. So I don't know. This is going to get pretty interesting. But again, this is China is looking to implement a system akin to the social credit system in the metaverse and other online virtual worlds. Politico actually reported this on August 20 that the state-owned telco China Mobile has proposed a digital ID for all metaverses and online virtual world users that work with natural characteristics and social characteristics. I mean, if this is all said and done, you literally will have one digital ID. I mean, like literally your social security will be your digital ID, your social security number, like everything you used from ordering Ubers to buying things on Amazon, to chatting on TikTok or whatever else, right? All of that will be connected to one ID with the social credit score that will also seamlessly go over to the metaverse and have real world consequences. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. I mean, the old saying goes, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about, I guess. But it's also one of those things where we're getting super creepy on the AI and the digital side of the house. So I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Is this something you like to see? Would it improve the world if everyone did have a social credit score and it was attached to a digital ID? That way, the people who are online and anonymous claiming to want to kill you or hate speech and all that, you actually can say, all right, well, how about you just you can dox yourself now. You no longer have to say things and hidden and being scared. You can now say things loud and proud about how you feel online in real life. I don't know. This might be a good thing, but you all let me know in the comments. You know what I think. I think we're headed to a more globalized world as it is, and maybe these things are inevitable, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you all think. I would try to see you all tomorrow. This news cycle picks up, but if it's still super slow, we might have to wait till Wednesday. Other than that, smash that like and share, and I will see you all later this week. Cheers.